Emily sat by the large window of her Manhattan penthouse, the city lights sprawling beneath her like a sea of stars. A glass of untouched wine rested in her hand, its deep red hue mirroring the thoughts she couldn't voice. Loneliness had become a constant companion, creeping into her life like an uninvited guest. Mark, her husband, was away on yet another business trip. His absence had become routine, but that didn't make it easier. Their marriage had once been filled with passion and devotion, but over time, his priorities had shifted. The man who had once worshipped her was now consumed by work, leaving her as an afterthought. Nights like these reminded her of everything they had lost. The sound of the front door opening pulled her from her thoughts. She turned to see Ryan walking in, his presence filling the space effortlessly. He carried himself with quiet confidence, a man comfortable in his own skin. Tall, sharp-featured, and self-assured, he was nothing like Mark. There was something about him, an energy that made even the quiet moments feel charged. "Long night?" he asked, nodding toward the untouched wine. Emily managed a small smile. "Something like that." Ryan dropped onto the couch across from her, stretching out lazily. "Dad called. Said he'll be gone for another week." Of course he would. Mark's business always came first. Emily nodded, trying to appear indifferent. "That doesn't surprise me." Ryan studied her for a moment before speaking. "You don't seem fine." She let out a dry laugh. "Is it that obvious?" He shrugged slightly, his gaze unreadable. Emily looked at him, really looked at him. The last time she had seen him before he moved in, he had been a college student, full of reckless energy and ambition. But now he was different, composed, assured. There was an edge to him, something sharp beneath the surface. She shifted in her seat, suddenly aware of how close he was. "It's nothing, really. Just thinking too much." Ryan didn't press, but his gaze lingered, piercing through the walls she had built. A dangerous line. Over the next few days, Emily found herself drawn to him in ways she couldn't explain. It wasn't deliberate, wasn't even something she wanted to acknowledge. But it was there, in the stolen glances, in the conversations that lasted longer than they should. She started paying more attention to how she looked, though she told herself it was nothing, just a harmless bit of attention. It didn't mean anything. Ryan noticed. His compliments, though casual, carried an undertone she couldn't ignore. "That color looks good on you," he said one evening, his eyes lingering just a second too long. She brushed it off with a laugh, pretending it didn't affect her. But it did. One evening, desperate for distraction, she decided to bake, a simple pleasure she hadn't indulged in for years. As the rich scent of chocolate filled the kitchen, Ryan appeared, drawn by the warmth. "You bake?" he asked, surprised. She smirked, placing a plate in front of him. "I used to." Ryan took a bite, his expression shifting. "Damn, that's really good." Emily watched him, something unfamiliar stirring in her chest. It was innocent, wasn't it? Just a fleeting moment, a shared connection. But the way he looked at her made her pulse quicken. She told herself it was nothing. She was wrong. The edge of no return. Emily woke the next morning feeling restless. The air in the house felt different, charged with something unspoken. She tried to shake it off, but every interaction with Ryan carried an undercurrent she couldn't ignore. She noticed things she shouldn't. The way his shirt clung to his toned frame, the way his voice deepened when he spoke to her. It wasn't just her imagination. That evening, she was in the kitchen, lost in thought, when she felt him behind her. Close. Too close. "You're quiet today," he said, his voice low. She forced a smile, keeping her focus on the cutting board. "Just tired." Ryan didn't move. His presence pressed against her back like a shadow. "Is that all?" Her grip tightened on the knife. What else would it be? A long pause. Then a quiet, knowing reply. "I don't know. You tell me." She turned to face him, heart pounding. His eyes locked onto hers, dark and unreadable. "You're imagining things," she whispered. Ryan smirked. There was no humor in it. "If you say so." He stepped back, but the damage was already done. The tension was there now, undeniable, suffocating. The cost of temptation. She told herself she would keep her distance. She failed. One night, when the house was silent and the world outside felt far away, she found herself sitting in the dimly lit living room, unable to sleep. She heard footsteps behind her and knew it wasn't before he even spoke. "Can't sleep?" She shook her head. "You!" Ryan sat beside her, too close. Not really. A silence stretched between them, heavy and dangerous. She should have walked away. Should have put an end to it before it consumed her. But she didn't. "You don't have to pretend," he said softly. She frowned. "Pretend what?" "That you don't feel it." Her breath caught. She opened her mouth to deny it, to push him away, but the words wouldn't come. Ryan leaned in slightly, not touching her, but close enough that she could feel the heat radiating from him. "I see the way you look at me," he murmured. "The way you try not to." She swallowed hard. "This is wrong." His voice remained calm. "Is it?" A moment, a decision, a mistake. And just as quickly as the moment came, reality crashed down on her. She pulled away, breathless. This can't happen again. Ryan's expression was unreadable. Then he leaned back and exhaled. "You really thought this was something real, didn't you?" A chill ran down her spine. "What?" He tilted his head, smirking, but it wasn't playful this time. It was cold, calculated. "I knew," he said simply. "I knew from the beginning." Emily felt the world tilt. "Knew what?" "That you wanted me." His tone was casual, unaffected. "I just needed to see if you'd actually do it." Her stomach dropped. "You were testing me?" He didn't answer. He didn't need to. Nausea rolled over her as she gripped the edge of the couch. "This was just a game to you." Ryan's gaze softened, but not with sympathy, with pity. "You let it happen, Emily. You wanted it just as much as I did." Regret hit her like a wave. "I ruined everything." Ryan didn't disagree. The aftermath, the truth unraveled quickly. Mark found out, not from Ryan, but from the way she had changed, the way she avoided his touch, the way she could no longer look him in the eyes. The divorce papers came a month later. She didn't fight them. As she packed her bags, leaving behind the home she had once thought would be her forever, she asked herself the question that had haunted her since that night. For what? Some betrayals can be forgiven. Others leave scars that never fade. Some mistakes cost more than anyone is willing to pay. And Emily had lost everything. For nothing.